We may still have some technical difficulties, new system. But we're going to be watching because of the delay, more moisture is going to pump in, and these storms may have a higher rain potential. Also, July storms are just notorious for big raindrops because they're so tall. They're some of the tallest storms that you can even get in throughout the year because they're just up to about 50,000 feet plus sometimes. But lots of wind coming in from the south to help blow in more humidity too. Sorry about this, guys. We're getting a lot of kind of new things popping up here. All right. All right, some of you may just be now joining us. We're working on a new tech system, so we've been having some bugs here and there. But we wanted to tell you that the delay in the storms tonight will help increase the flooding threat. New flood watch in effect for northeast Oklahoma. As this low pressure moves down the stationary boundary, it's going to help produce more storms here at home. We're watching a couple pretty strong hailstorms on the north side of Oklahoma City, also a little bit of wind with those too. Our storm chances will just increase as the night wanes on. Here's a closer look at some of those cells. Those are going to gradually move eastbound, but I think we'll have additional storms firing up to the north where we don't have a lot going on. Ponca City, Stillwater, as that low comes in, it'll help spark new storms. So these aren't necessarily the only storms that we could possibly get, but we'll watch these as they evolve and try to push eastbound over time. Right now, though, we're dry, a couple clouds still out there, nice southeast wind, more heat, more humidity. Guys, it's still 88 in Fort Smith. Of course, it feels even hotter than that when you add in the heat index, but just wanted to give you a quick update on some of the newest computer simulations, too. As the low pressure just takes its time, it's a little bit slower than we originally thought. As it takes this time, our storm chances have been delayed now to about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Some of these downpours could be pretty intense, but because there's more moisture coming in, some of them could get waterlogged. And when that happens, you get so many raindrops that the severe threat starts to go down. In fact, you want some dry air upstairs in order to help make more hailstones, more wind, and different things like that. But when there's too much water, the storm will choke a little bit. And that means it just dumps a lot of heavy rain. So there will be that flood threat, and that's why the flood watch has been issued for northeast Oklahoma. It does include Sequoia County, Adair, and Delaware counties. We'll watch the storms eventually move into northwest Arkansas, maybe throughout a lot of the morning time frame too. 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 o'clock. By after 8 o'clock, I think the heaviest stuff should be pushing out, but there still may be some lingering showers for a while. And if they linger for too long, we're going to have clouds for a lot of the day, which may cool us off. So this timing is so difficult with these systems as they're so volatile. Plus, they're all cold pull driven, which means they kind of move where they want to go. When they drop a lot of rain, that cold air forms and then it wedges the storm in a certain direction. We think they're going to be forming mostly on the west and northwest sides, which will push the storms east and south, but they can kind of meander how they want to, and it just depends once there's enough cold air after the rain has fallen in the storms. And so it's very hard for computer simulations even going to go through that. So that's where we have to come in and watch these storms, and when they start dumping the rain, we think, okay, we think in this spot, cold wedge comes in, it's going to drop this way or that way. So we'll track that overnight tonight. But mainly after 2 o'clock is our main storm chance, and guess what? We got even more storm chances coming up tomorrow night. We're in this pattern right now where we get these overnight storms, but storm chances go up 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock into the morning time frame too. You're headed out the door tomorrow morning. There may still be some scattered storms. Temperatures in the 70s. River Valley will also follow the 70s. Storm chances increasing there. I think the majority of us will get more rain, maybe 4, 5, 6 o'clock. It's just going to be a little bit longer. Here's another way to look at the timeline. We've been talking about in northwest Arkansas, 2 to 7 is the main impact time. Not necessarily the only times you're going to get rain, because in this situation, we have rain chances from maybe 1 a.m. all the way till maybe 9. But the main impact time would be 2 to 7. The strongest thunderstorms, the most intense downpours, things like that. I think the main impact time for the River Valley would be 4 to 9 a.m. Right through Fort Smith, Van Buren, Poteau, Greenwood, Ozark, and Mulberry. And then after about 6 a.m. coming up, I know the monitor's kind of blocking it. This is after 6 o'clock for Paris, Clarksville, Boonville, Waldron. But I would check in with meteorologist Zach Scott when you're waking up tomorrow morning with the latest forecast. He'll show you the radar. It's kind of the situation. You got to see the storms first, and once they finally have fired, it makes it a little bit easier to try to figure out where they're going to go. But when they haven't fired yet, that makes it a little bit tough, especially when everything's kind of been delayed too. So something we're watching. We'll be up all night monitoring these storms. Him and I will be chatting here in a couple hours once he wakes up. He's trying to get some sleep now. We'll be talking kind of through the forecast together, kind of the latest information, what we see, what we don't see, different things like that. So there may be more updates tonight. We just want to give you guys an update real quick as you're headed to bed. But don't be surprised if you wake up. So some loud rumbles of thunder later tonight, and maybe even a couple hours early before you wanted to, before the alarm sets off tomorrow morning. Make sure you stay weather aware. Storms are on the way. They haven't fired yet, but they're probably going to be firing the next few hours. Make sure you keep it here, keep it local. As always, we'll keep you advised.